Alright, today is the day. I get to start back again working with the TR3. As you can see, I got the TR3 E Series Property Edition. There aren't a whole lot of reviews on YouTube about it. Actually, I think I only saw one, and that was of the TR3 itself that somebody had posted. And when I was looking for this machine, I actually didn't see any reviews other than ABI's, you know, little scripted videos of it. So now that I have my own, I'm posting my own so people can see exactly how it works, how it operates, what I use it for. I've used it already because this driveway, as you see, did not look like this, you know, before I got it. And I bought my tractor recently, you know, back in August, just so I could, you know, do stuff around mother's house. And this driveway was in bad shape, and I'm gonna try to include those photos of the driveway, you know, like a then and now and since then type deal, so you can see that, you know, this driveway looked nothing like this now. And we didn't add any gravel. All we did was, all I did was, I tried to start off with a box blade, but I'm not that great with that damn thing. So I got this to help me out, and actually it did a great job on this little part of the driveway as well as the big driveway itself that's past those trees. As you can see, and it's probably not showing up all that great, the grass is starting to creep back in again right through this area. This isn't bad, trust me, it was way worse than that, to the point where we lost half of this driveway just to you know, grass coming up, and that's with gravel added to it. So the driveway actually extends a little further right through this area. I'm gonna reclaim that back later, you know, back when it gets warm. But you know, by the time I got this, I could only do so much. You can't, you know, you can't use it every day. It's not worth it. I mean, it's a nice piece of equipment, but using it every day on the driveway is not gonna do anything for you. And then it rained like forever and a day, you know, during the winter time when I could have used it. The other thing is where I parked my trailer. Also, this right here was completely covered with grass, and this gravel was put down 3 years ago. And so the gravel you see now is actually been, like I said, rejuvenated, I guess is what they call it, with the TR3, to where it looks like what it does now. And all I did was run the TR3 over a couple times, and that was it. And had I known the damn cats were gonna do what they did here, I'd have just let that little badass just come out here and clean up the grass. So now I got a ton of cat shit to drive through. And they aren't even my cats, they're feral cats. They just bring their ass around here, and I can't get rid of them quick enough, or at all. So I'm gonna hook up the tractor, see what I can do about actually trying to post a video. I mean, you know, drive with this phone on and video it. I haven't done that before yet, except for in my hand, but I think I figured out a way to actually mount it up so I can drive it and have it mounted and be hands-free, so you can see a little bit of the action with the TR3 running. I just had to move my trailer, so I picked up this hitch from Agri Supply. Went with like 65 bucks, I think. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with it. Well, it could work. It doesn't work with a quick hitch because the pinhole's too low. So I had to chain it up, but I mean, it grabbed a 14-foot trailer and pulled it like it was nothing, so can't complain too much, I guess. Please don't laugh at my little jerry rig move there. I live in the country, man. What do you expect? All right, so I have it all hooked up. The way I'm gonna start off is I'm gonna start with the scarifiers down on the number 1 hole, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to drop them down to the 2nd hole from the top. And then I'm gonna pull the leveling blade up out of the way, because I don't need to level anything. I just need to, you know, dig up the rocks and get rid of this grass. And then when it's all said and done, I'm gonna lower the rake a little bit just to carry just a little bit of rock, and then I'm gonna pull it over just to, you know, smooth out any small bumps, especially over here where the cats have made themselves a porta john. As of right now, if you look at it, one of the things I did do to this is I went to Harbor Freight and I glued on a level so I can get my bubble level right, because they still don't want it level. This right here should be I'm not sure if it means when it's up in the air or what, but I know when it's on the ground, it should be level. Yep. So I've glued that on to make everything easier, you know, at a quick glance. I also added in 3 more teeth so I get a little more rip into it. And that's actually all I've done right now. I have a couple of other mods in mind that I'm going to use. But as of right now, also, the original bolts that were in it were just a little bit too small for the holes for me. So I took them all out. And I put in, I think, the 5/8 bolts in there. Of course, I flipped the nuts upside down. So the nuts are on top instead of on the bottom. Nothing more than just to, you know, be me and just to do something. I had some extra time, you know, when it was colder. Too much time on your hands, you know. All right, so now I'm just gonna try and figure out how to attach the camera, so hopefully y'all can see what's going on and see how it's being used. Unfortunately, I don't have a second person to actually, you know, film from the side, you know. And I'm not like ABI. I don't have all this fancy, you know, video equipment, can make fancy videos all day. It's just, you know, some dude and a phone, that's it. So in just that little bit of time, this is what I've actually done. This isn't all I need to do, but this is just the beginning of it. So with it, the tines kicking deep into the dirt like I did, as you see, some of this was actually hidden in the grass and overgrowth on the side. And this is the grass area that I showed. This will probably be gone in 1 or 2 more passes. And that right there will be a little bit better. Now where I've noticed is, I mean, it's probably been better off done, you know, about a month ago before all the heavy rains hit around here. But what I've noticed is, once you dig into it like that, it might look a little crazy and not as good in the beginning, but after a couple of good rains, all the loose dirt washes off the rocks, and so that's the reason why this area looks as good as it does compared to what I'll show you in the pictures. Because I'm dead serious. When I first went over this, it looked real crazy. I mean, you can see the rocks coming up, but it looked like, you know, there's nothing but brown dirt like this right here everywhere. And then after a couple rains, it was day and night difference. So I'm gonna get back into it again. Hopefully the video caught, you know, a good portion of that. I'm gonna keep videoing as well as keep working, and I'll take some pictures as well as do a better walk around so you can see everything. I've ripped it and I ripped it from one end of the driveway to the other, and now I've ripped it across in the high spot. So what I think I can do now is I'm gonna have to use the rake, which is the back end of it, but there's a low spot over here, so I think I'm gonna use the leveling blade to grade in and pull like a box blade a little bit, which it is a limited capacity box blade once you put the leveling blade down. If you lock it in, that is, if you lock it into place. Now, if you leave it floating, it's just gonna grade. It's gonna pull also some material, but it's gonna grade and flow with the contour of the ground. So this way, I need to pull a little bit down here to this little hole, because my mother comes flying around that corner like it's, you know, like she's on motocross, you know, tires. So it always builds up a berm in that area. But I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get. Like I said, once it rains, especially if it gets a good, nice, hard, heavy rain, all that brown is basically, you know, that's fresh dirt that just got dug up, but that'll just completely disappear, and it'll be nothing but like a level, it'll look literally just like we just put down gravel. It's a nice tool, an expensive one, but I mean, I knew that getting into the deal, and I really need to get a hold of, you know, these two driveways. One is over 100 yards in that direction, and this one just wraps around, so there's no real gravel down in that area, but still, you know, I can use it to, you know, level any high spots or whatever and whatnot. This gravel road gets potholes very bad, and with that box blade, like I said, I'm not good with the box blade, so me using it, I was creating more divots and dings and anything. So I just decided to go ahead and, you know, bite the bullet and, you know, go ahead and do it. And actually, you know, as soon as I laid it into the ground and went, it actually did everything it's supposed to do. So now when I go through and get a hold of the driveway, I'm literally just playing. I don't do this part of the driveway that often, but because Mama literally only drives on one side of the driveway, and the other one is just made up of cat fodder, and my sister's car stays there. So I mean, so I really don't need to do this one. I'm just playing around today, you know. Just like I said, there was a high spot and grass starting to grow. I probably should have just let it grow a little more. That way, you know, you'd see the bigger difference. But I'm not sure when it's going to rain again. And I figure if I go ahead and take a good video of it now and get this, you know, get the gravel brought up, that way the rain can wash off and clean the gravel, you know, dirt, and it'll look a lot better. rake down. All the ridges are now out that I created in the short time that I did this. I had to readjust the rake a couple of times, depending on where I was in the driveway and what I wanted to do. But you know, I did pretty good. Only problem I had was a great big clump of wet dirt. Got caught in the tines as I was pulling it back, so it made that ridge, but I'll take care of that later. And honestly, I'm not even worried about it. But the dirt, the gravel and the dirt got broke up right here real good. Not so much in this area, 'cause I really didn't go over it like I should have, but because I'm in a hurry. But anything I need to do to readjust it or whatever, I can do later. I actually ran out of time. I got stuff I need to do. Like I said, it's a pretty good tool. It's expensive, but you know, it's good, you know, for the guy that doesn't want to screw around with a box blade too much. I mean, the box blade is a good tool for what it, you know, you're gonna move a lot of dirt with a box blade that you can't move with this. But the same thing is, if you're not good with a box blade and you have to tend to it constantly, you know, with the 3-point lever, this is the tool. You just set it like you want it, drop it, and just keep driving. That's it. You don't even really have to look back unless you want to. I do, because you know, I'm trying to keep the lines of the driveway, you know, without spreading rock too far past that. But then again, when I cut the grass, it grew through all the clippings over into the driveway, so that's part of the problem I got now. But other than that, you know, a few little minor adjustments I have to make with the rippers, or like getting off to get the leveling blade where I want, or the rear rake. I mean, it's a one-stop tool. You just drop it and go. The wheels keep it from, you know, it'll follow the ground with the wheels. It won't go any further, so you just drop the 3-point and let it float, and it does its job. It's pretty good. This one is the smallest version they make. I think that's 5.5 feet, maybe 6 feet on the rake is what they counted at. Even though the ripper part of it's actually the width of the tractor, and I have a 1025R, so it's a little bit, you know, from one ripper to the next, it's a little bit wider than that, but not by much. So you're looking at about 50 inches, 52 inches, I think. And the leveling blade is just a tad bit shorter. It's actually running about the same. So you're running about 52 inches, the leveling blade. It's actually pretty, like I said, it's a pretty good tool. Expensive. I know not everybody's gonna wanna utilize that much of their financials, you know, to buy a one-use tool like this. If you have an arena, I can see where it worked great. I personally don't have an arena, nor do I, you know, basically I bought this just for gravel driveway, that's it. I can hook up a couple friends if they need it, family members, but you know, that's all I bought it for, was just the driveway. Like I said, it's an expensive tool for, you know, the one use I'm using it for, but you know, it takes the headache out of trying to run around with a box blade, and every time there's a dip, now you got another dip you just created with the box blade. I don't have that kind of energy to tend to it, you know, tend to a box blade on a 3-point lift like that. All right, like I said, I'll try and link in some before and after video, before and after photos, so you can see what it looked like and how I got overran over here, you know, pretty bad. But you know, now that the weather's cleared up pretty good, I'll be able to screw around with it a little more. Maybe even pick up a couple of driveways for friends or something like that need done, and I'll bring y'all along for that one. See you.